Hello, everyone. This is Gene. I'm happy to announce that I've completely simplified my Patreon into just one membership option of $3. This membership gives you exclusive access to my private Astral Doorway Discord community. So, this is an invitation to the many of you lovely people who have sent me kind and loving messages of thanks and support and would now like to join me a bit more intimately. But let's get one thing straight. I'm already a financially independent person as a high school teacher in my day job. Spirituality is not and never will be a business for me. I'll get more into that later and why I'm making a private group. So, in the group and Patreon, I'll be posting random thoughts, pieces of wisdom that usually come to me spontaneously throughout my day. I usually write these things into my phone to remember and live by, and maybe even include in my books, but now I can post them directly to this group. If you decide to join, you don't need to join the Discord server as I post content to the Patreon page too and interact there. However, Discord is a very intimate and fun way for a group like this to come together, discuss, help each other learn, and share information and much more. If you don't know how Discord works, it's very simple. I'll put some easy instructions in the description below. So, here are some benefits that you'll receive from becoming a member. You'll essentially become a student of a study group, which consists of only fellow Astral Doorway patrons. This sort of study group allows me to converse with serious students who share the same value as me in spirituality. In turn, it helps me formulate better future videos and books more efficiently by bouncing ideas off you. We can engage in authentic and interesting discussions, study sessions, monthly live Q&As with me in voice chat. I'll also be doing live guided meditations, and I can even help you to interpret your dreams or astral projection experiences and so much more. The topics in the group are about life and the soul in general, right? Not just about astral projection. Because, as you know, if you've read my book, astral projection is synonymous with all things spiritual. It is a core part of our growth towards awakening. Subjects that can be discussed in the group can be things like clairvoyance, shamanism, religion, Buddhism, Christianity, Gnosticism, connecting with nature, prayer, meditation, destroying the ego, even building businesses, manifestation, transmutation, alchemy, science, physics, career, the zodiac, tarot cards, love and relationships, how to cope with being a spiritual person in a world amongst materialistic people, and much, much more. I'm interested in life itself, and if you are too, then you'll be good enough to join. You'll also receive episodes early on Tuesdays instead of Saturdays and be the first to listen, comment, and discuss the topics explored in them, and be the first to ask me questions on the YouTube video so I don't need to rummage through all the comments before finding yours. You'll also be the first to hear about my upcoming books and even help me contribute to them. If you do, I'll be more than happy to include your name in the acknowledgements page once the books are published. Now, bear with me, I know not everyone wants to pay money, especially for spiritual things, which I completely agree with. I'm totally against those master courses and coaching services which cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars sometimes. It's a ridiculous price to pay for something that is accessible to everyone from within. It's everyone's birthright to this knowledge, and limiting it only to people that can afford it is frankly a universal crime, assuming that the content within the course is genuine. Hence why you'll never see me charge any sort of extortionate amount of money for any type of knowledge, as you can also see from the price of my book. I'd rather face death knowing I helped people with a clean conscience than excessively profiting off spiritual wisdom. I wish more spiritual teachers would have the courage and authenticity to practice this, especially in this modern day. I'll tell you now, I can name so many so-called spiritual YouTubers, teachers, and gurus who are charging like $1,000 for a course or coaching service. I mean, what are they doing? And this is even more appalling for me because when I watch those people, I can tell and see that most of them are not awakened at all. They're just as regular as you. Now, I'm not saying I'm any better than them, but what I'm saying is they're charging around $1,000 as if they're the next Jesus, right? And that it's going to make you the next Jesus or something. You would learn so much more from spending $5 on the hundreds of old books from spiritual masters. And, you know, a lot of those masters held classes too, but they never charged anything for their services and they only lived off donations or the small amounts they made from their books. They weren't interested in branding themselves, commercializing themselves, coming across so fake, seducing people with nice thumbnails, and all that other crap. You know, buy books from authentic teachers such as Eckhart Tolle, Jürgen Zever, Gurdjieff, Krishnamurti, Swami Vivekananda, Helena Blavatsky, Lobsang Rampa, Samael Aounveor, Ouspensky, Eliphas Levi, the many Dalai Lamas who lived throughout time, Lao Tzu, Hermes Trismegistus. There are so many. And as many of them say, I believe Jesus even said it, do not follow me. Samael said, I do not follow anyone, nor do I want anyone to follow me. What I want is for each one of you to follow his own self. And Swami Vivekananda said, you have to grow from the inside out. None can teach you. None can make you spiritual. There is no other teacher but your own soul. So the point is to look within, not spend hundreds on spiritual courses. And let me tell you, writing a book is far more effort than most of these online courses. It takes months and even years of dedicated hard work to write a book, which will only cost $3 to $10. And I can find many spiritual courses which cost hundreds just for a set of 20 videos, which consist of around 10-minute videos. You get my point. For what purpose do these people place such a high value on their courses? Material abundance? Well, let me tell you, abundance is absolutely relative and subjective to the individual. Forget the idea of abundance. So many people are obsessed with this idea. Stop following the crowd. And even if they think it's for spiritual reasons, most of the time they do it for that end goal of material manifestation. Realize profoundly that you will die. Your life is short and temporary. Do you want to waste it thinking about how you can become rich and famous? Manifestation is a minuscule part of spirituality. There is such a thing as real spiritual spirituality instead of material spirituality. It is the spirituality of the spirit, not of the material. As it says in the Bible, and what Bob Marley used in one of his songs, don't gain the world and lose your soul. Wisdom is better than silver or gold. Now, don't get me wrong, if you ask me for advice about manifestation and attracting what you desire, I'll help you and tell you what you need to know. It is a real thing. But what I'm saying is, to receive abundance, you don't need to focus on the idea of abundance. You need to focus on realizing and transcending yourself and your own ego, your own shadow and darkness, like I've been speaking about so much on this channel. Those are the things that are in your way of you receiving abundance and realizing your full potential. The spiritual path and awakening is absolutely personal. Hence why we need that inner connection with our own inner guidance. So stop idolizing these fake spiritual YouTubers and don't do the same with me either. You need to find your own inner path, your own inner master, your own inner God, and talk with it within the silence of your innermost being. You have a wealth of treasure inside you, yet you're spending hundreds on courses thinking it's going to magically help you because of the illusion of the material value placed on it. But this value we place on things works, right? We need to value teachers and teachings because then we understand things from our hearts rather than our egos. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm creating this private group through the filter of a small payment. So that instead of a public group of just any skeptics and people who don't value what I have to share, I can gather a group of people who share the same value and have a genuine interest and want to learn. $3 is cheaper than a cup of coffee, but still, this will do its job of avoiding people who aren't truly ready to contemplate and practice spiritual knowledge in a more serious way. Hence, this results in a more mature, devoted, peaceful, and honorable community. So, by becoming a Patreon, you'll be able to attend the live voice chat Q&As, which I schedule with the group at minimum once a month, as well as me being heavily involved in the text channels. These Q&A events can also involve discussions, hearing about your path and astral projection stories and getting help with them, and just discussing all things spiritual. As the community grows, I'll surely be joining into live voice chats at any time at my own leisure, doing guided meditations and other random events such as ones related to my upcoming books and videos. The early access and ad-free videos will be available in the Discord server, or if you just want to support the channel and don't want to join the Discord, it will also be available in Patreon too. So it's Tuesday today. I've published a video for members already, which is available for you to watch now if you join. So yeah, I'm also doing this not just for you, but for myself as well, because it's enjoyable and fruitful to have a small group of people related to spirituality, because such a group, as you know, is hard to find in the physical world, and we lack the right people to express our spiritual interests to in a safe and private environment. And it's nice for it not to be public so that there aren't trolls, argumentative skeptics, religious fanatics that I know all too well are abundant on the internet. I know this even more so because I moderate the 200,000 member Astral Projection Reddit group and also the Discord for that as well. So, this private astral doorway group is a way for me to express myself more clearly and directly for serious students only. Serious does not mean you need to be an astral projector or advanced in spirituality. You can be a complete beginner. What matters is that you have a genuine interest and want to learn and grow spiritually. The intention of a group is to fill ourselves with spiritual learning and meaning, not with controversy, entertainment, or trivia, right? You see, on YouTube and Reddit and anywhere I'm in the public eye, my mind is making far more extra effort to be extremely careful of false judgments, false interpretations, possible skeptical counter arguments, and to be considerate of everyone's viewpoints. I do not do this out of fear because I, as a thoughtful teacher, understand the fears, confusions, and questions that pop up in the minds of people and general collective consciousness, because I've been there, right? But with a group of genuinely interested people who value my work, I can communicate and express myself in a more intimate and soulful way, so to speak. Teaching and sharing my knowledge and wisdom is my greatest passion in life, but too often it becomes a challenge in having to defend myself, correct myself, clarify myself in extreme ways to all sorts of people out there. Now, I don't mind doing that, of course. In fact, it's helped me to become a better teacher overall. However, I also want to be able to just talk casually and openly to my fellow friends, brothers, and sisters in life who are walking on the path and are actually serious about awakening, astral projection, and general life and afterlife topics. Outside of my YouTube, when I go to help people in online communities, I often feel like I'm wasting my time. And for a while, I felt the call to stop investing so much of that time trying to help people who don't truly value the things I have to offer. I mean, how can any learning happen when you're being insulted or accused of being a prophet or something? I don't mind the insults and gaslighting. I have a backbone, of course, but it's really not the point and not the intention of me just simply innocently answering questions and just trying to help people. So, if you have access to the internet, you have a phone, you've bought books, then you'll be able to spare $3. And this $3 is not just a payment to support me and show me some love and encouragement, but it's also symbolic of your seriousness, gratitude, and respect for what I have to share. And that feeling is completely returned in favor from me as well. So, if you want to join this community of like minded individuals in a private and respectful group who are all interested in becoming more spiritually aware and more conscious in our lives, then just follow the link in the description, which is patreon.com/astral doorway. Thank you, and I'll see you there.